I want to give assurance to our people that this government will continue to give subsidy to our people, especially at the buses, at the shop, at the school fee paying moments. We will still carry and carry the cost. Today, as I speak, we have the highest ever foreign reserve in our central bank, 3,956 million or $3.9 billion in the central bank. This is enough to cover 10 months of import. Bank of PNG is using this high level of reserves and supports the government's financing program to inject more foreign exchange in the market. This is a massive level of funding support in just 2023 to solve the foreign exchange shortage. So triple year in a row, mibla down in dina godan. Cost of living has gone up. Cost of our living standard has also. We are understanding clearly the hardship that our people experience. I want to assure this House that the fiscal repair through government policy we've done is to ensure that we assist the economy and assist our people going forward. This government has a very credible fiscal program going forward that embraces reducing deficits, paying down our debts. That's what our 13-year budget repair plan is all about. So triple year in a row, mibla down in dina godan. Slashing. Iguanta but mibla slashing dina godan again. So that Yimi can come back, lo talk pisin of the surplus budget by 2027. Money long country Yimi raise him, but no got need lo dina money by me run him. Back and back dina lo pass, now run him want the actual cash. So since 2019, time mibla restructuring economy, 2020 time COVID-19 hit him mibla, up him dina guanta for more than 2.5 billion. Now you may start cutting dina come down. By 2027, we will reduce it down to no borrowings, no dina, and purely operating budget long cash you may generating. Now you may start then, we will start to repay our dinners going forward into the future. This is what we envisage. Our debt to GDP ratio in 2021 was 52.6%. Today, in 2023, as we closed last year rather, it was 52%, 0.6% less. And as we go on into the future, by 2029, if we go on this path, then we'll hit 35% debt to GDP. And when Papua, PNG, LNG, and every other reforms that we are doing to the economy matures to earn yield from these investments, I expect in the 2030s, whoever is in government, we would have passed on a stronger economy with strong economic fundamentals to that government. Me like Toggle said, one people heavy stuff lo yet and foreign exchange shortage. Now me like make him legally Toggle or this. Government knows the foreign exchange shortage are the greatest barrier, one of the great barriers of doing business in our country. That problem has become entrenched since the previous government, which I was part of. We took decision to artificially peg the Kina in 2014, and it artificially increased the value of Kina by 20%. We are acting, we've identified a problem, and we are working to fix this. This had to be corrected as a critical first step. The government established early in 2021 an independent advisory group to recommend changes to the Central Banking Act. That report later, that year, led to a major change in the Central Bank Act. Before that reform, Central Bank governor was the most powerful man running the economy of our country. He had reported to no one, and if he chose to drink and relate in a pub with the Prime Minister of the day, he will choose to relate, and they construct a policy at their whims. The government knows that we're going through hard times. Central Bank has a critical role to play in our economy. The work in tandem of monetary policy and fiscal policy assists the economy to be stable and to be progressive. The structure of Central Bank we had before was something that was confirmed by the Independent Advisory Group. And mind you, the Independent Advisory Group, Mr. Speaker, we choose to engage with our partners, personalities who are very experienced in the Central Bank. The late Sir Wilson Cummit, for instance, Professor our Chancellor Robert Igara, and 3 senior Papua New Guineans did a review, and they recommended that it's about time we put competency at the board, and we have a board that has oversight in the central bank and oversight to the governor. So that recommendations came in. We made changes to the Central Banking Act that this Parliament passed, and we've now appointed a competent and, mind you, for the first time, a female governor who rose up from the ranks, who have worked over 30 years in the bank. Mrs. Guinea is now the governor of the bank, but the governor doesn't work on her own now. The governor reports, and governor reports to the board, and the board oversights on the functionality of the bank. Today, as I speak, we have the highest ever foreign reserve in our central bank. On record, this would be the highest our country has ever had, over 3,956 million, or $3.9 billion in the central bank. This is enough to cover 10 months of import, well above the international benchmark of 3 to 6 months. Bank of PNG is using this high level of reserves and supports the government's financing program to inject more foreign exchange in the market. Indeed, in 2023, for instance, Bank of PNG injected over $1.6 billion into the foreign exchange market, worth nearly $6 billion. This is a massive level of funding support in just 2023 to solve the foreign exchange shortage, contrary to what many may say, almost equivalent to a combined budget in health and education of $6.2 billion in 2023. There was huge backlog of Forex, and central bank has been clearing this backlog. By the end of March 2024, outstanding Forex orders of more than 2 months old for trade goods and services has fallen by 46 million. This is a much better result than expected. We are on track to get rid of backlogs on foreign exchange orders, on traded goods by 2025, and on dividends by 2026, and return to Kina full convertibility by 2027.